So this is the Amazon influencer get rid of the blue lock section part 2. So sometimes I find things a little bit more helpful when they're written down. So this will just kind of give you an overview of slightly what we just covered, but then a little bit more in depth when it comes to the influencer piece of it, why you would want to unlock that blue lock for on-site commissions, and why it's so important. So obviously you want to be an Amazon influencer. You want to be able to get into that program, apply, get in that program, but you do also have to take the additional step of unlocking that blue lock on your screen. So we are going to kind of get through this piece of it and go through all of the different things that you're going to need. So overall, just being a little bit more in depth with everything, we do the tips and tricks. I mentioned them super briefly in the last video, but I really want to make sure that I am making sure that you're successful in this part because the on commission is where I make a majority of my money. So with that comes our tips and tricks. So on there, sometimes people get into the influencer program and they just start adding videos like wild. Yes, they're great to have on your storefront. However, you will just want to go ahead and do the 3 videos. If there's more, you don't want it to be flagged for a silly technicality of you had more videos on there than you were supposed to. And at that point, they are really not going to make you a ton of money unless you're approved for the Amazon on-site commission. So just stick to the 3. Do the 3 videos. And in those videos, you do want to make sure that it's only one product in each video. I know a lot of times you'll see creators talking about a this or that promotion. I was a part of that this or that promotion, but that promotion does not help you when you're getting approved for on-site commission. So one product in each video and make sure it is the exact product. If there is something that's off about it in any way where it looks like it's a different brand or things like that, they will not accept it. So make sure it is the exact item and there is one product that you are doing. The next thing is making sure that it is a horizontal video. I do get people that are filming and they obviously are filming in vertical mode and they upload it to be able to do on-site commission and it does get denied. When you are going to Amazon's page and going to look for a product, those review pieces of it, the reviews that you're going to be doing, every one of them is horizontal because it pops more. It kind of, it's wider. It's just the way that they format it as well. It looks better. I don't think I've seen a vertical one on there in a really long time. And so I think they have kind of gone completely away from those. If you do edit in CapCut like I do, there are times where I will vertically film, but then it's put in a horizontal format. So just kind of keep that part in mind. You are also going to want to eliminate background sound. In the CapCut app, there is a way that when you're filming, so if you're doing a bunch of filming, what I do is I film while my kids are awake, whether it be, my products, theirs, anything like that. There's going to be background noise. There's going to be questions that they ask me during that process as well. If they're fighting, that's going to be on there. So there is a volume button where you can completely take out any background noise. The reason why I suggest that is because I suggest a voiceover. So the voiceover, you eliminate all the background noise, and then in my case, once the kids go to bed, that's when you do your voiceover options because you can make it quick, you can make it clean, and overall you can make it quiet in that case. So if there's background sound on there, that is a possible reason for you to get denied. I mentioned edit in iMovie or CapCut. At the end of CapCut, there is a watermark that just says like, hey, you uploaded this in CapCut or you edited this in CapCut. Just remove that. You can remove it, and it's not hard. You just click on that section of the video, click the delete button, and then you're good to go. Also, making sure that it's a review video. So if I'm showcasing my laminator, I will show everyone how it works. I will show them the button features. I will show them the reasons why I like it. I will show them the reasons or how it's working. I'll show them how it works. Any products potentially, not again, not in the first 3 videos, but if I did this now after being done, I would be able to showcase other products in it as well. So the actual laminating pouches that go with it. But in this case, if you were doing it for one of your 3 videos, again, keep in mind you would only be doing that laminator. You'd be showing them how it worked, but you wouldn't be linking any of the other, laminating pouches that came with it. So other things, you want to make sure that they know how it works, if they have to install it or set it up, how easy it is in that case as well. They're just going to want to know exactly how this functions as if they had it and purchased it. You are going to want to keep it to 30 to 60 seconds. So although you are doing a complete review, a lot of times what I'll do is I will do something in my, let's say sticking to the laminator. If I want to show somebody how it works, I will do it, but I'm going to speed it up on CapCut. CapCut has an option where you have the ability to speed it up to 2 times as fast. And that's another reason why you wouldn't necessarily want to talk while you're filming, because if you have to be able to speed something up to get it to 30 to 60 seconds, you're going to have to be able to speed it up, and you can't speed up talking, so you're going to have to redo it anyway. Um, so another one, oh, obviously I've talked about it already, but voiceover is one of the biggest suggestions that I make. I know some people don't. I do think that this has kind of been something that's been very helpful. It makes it look more professional. In that case as well, I can go, more in depth, into the product and do voiceover where it's not necessarily, like I said, background noise, doors shutting, things like that. Also making sure that you add a cover photo. So that cover photo is super important. If I have one, influencer video with a cover photo that catches my eye versus someone that didn't put a cover photo, chances are you're going to gravitate more towards the one with the cover photo. That's just natural to be able to, that eye popping color. I use a lot of black and white, so it just pops a little bit more. If you use bright colors, that's what I would suggest as well. Neutrals would work in some case, but usually those pops of colors, white and black, do very well. Um, Again, I talked about this in the previous video, but the title, you want to make them want to watch it. So if I, going back again to that laminator, if I want to do a product that basically says, this is the best laminator ever, you need to buy it, they don't need to watch the video to know that they think that they, would want it. You can say, check out all the features of this laminator and how well it works. That's going to make them be like, oh, well, now I got to watch it to see. So it's important to make sure that you're being very, directive in the title to make sure that they know that they have to watch the video. Um, you also have to offer your opinion on the product. So kind of going back up, circling up to the review section, you have to offer the opinion on the product, what you like about it, even if there's things that you don't like about it. I would make sure to say those in that case, or, be able to only, especially for the 3 videos, you may want to, find a product that you really, really can get behind. Because I will go over in the ethics section, if you're lying about, different things that you like or don't like about the product, and then they get it and it's completely different, they're going to return the item. You're not going to get the commission anyway. But I'll go in depth more on the next section about that a little bit as well. So I'll go over that more in depth there. However, going back to that opinion piece, you are going to want to make sure that you say your opinion. I like that this has 2 different heat settings. I like that this is slim and compact. What do you like about it in that case? Another thing you are going to want to do is make sure that you don't list any pricing. So if right now it's on sale and you want to say that, don't. So you don't want to say the pricing because pricing can change. At that point, if you have a price on there and you say, even if you say that there's a coupon for $2 off right now, so make sure to grab it. That's kind of going back up to the first bullet point, making sure it's not a social style video. A social style video would be very much so, $2 off, 20% off, things like that. That's a social video. This one is not. So you will not list any pricing because, like I said, prices change. Amazon will very, very quickly decline you if you have a price in there. Even if you don't say a price and it's, written on your video, that's something you'd want to avoid as well. You also are going to want to make sure that you don't say affordable. Affordable to everyone else is very different. So my version of affordable may be different than somebody else's version of affordable. Whether it be, somebody thinks something that would be affordable would be like $3. Somebody else thinks something affordable is less than 30. So another person thinks, if they're real bougie and they have, two houses and, are taking trips to Hawaii all the time, in that case, maybe an affordable option for them would be $700. So affordable is different to everyone, and that's why you have to be careful about how you're saying that. You also don't want to say dupe, knockoff, anything like that. That would be an automatic denial in that case as well. Finally, you do have to make sure that you're in good lighting. So if you have a product that you are reviewing and it's in a dark room, or a cluttered room in that case as well, which is the third bullet point. So if it's a dark, cluttered room, that video is going to get denied real quick. So you have to be able to see in great lighting the product so they can see that it's the exact product that they're looking for. You have to make sure it's professional. Being that it's professional, it would have good lighting and a clean, clear background. You're not gonna, if you're reviewing a toy, one of your, toddler's toys, you're not gonna want 80,000 of the other toys in the background of the video. You just kind of want to, whether you're just moving everything to the side and out of the range of the video, that's what you're going to want to make sure that you're doing. Overall, those are the more in-depth tips. I know I mentioned them very, very briefly in the previous video, and I just kind of wanted to expand on those pieces of it. I think that they are very beneficial to use these overall throughout the course of your time doing Amazon influencer. However, I think a lot of people get nervous when they see these, that everything has to have good lighting, it has to have a clean, clear background, it's got to have all these things, because I had 3 pages of slides, for you on stuff. So people get overwhelmed when they see this. A lot of this piece of it is for the blue lock. The blue lock is something that you don't want to mess with. You want to make sure that each of your 3 videos have all 3 of these slide characteristics within them, and you're using these for those. Anything after that, once you get approved for the program, you don't necessarily have to be nitpicky about stuff. You still want it to be good quality content. But those 3 videos, it's super important to have all of these tips in there to get approved the first time. You do have 3 times to submit the videos. So if, let's say you get denied the first time, you have another shot. If you get denied the second time, you have a third and final shot. One thing with this program is that I am going to be working with you every step of the way throughout this process. So if you want to post your videos to the mentorship group that I'm going to share with you from purchasing this course, you're going to get in there. You're going to be able to have helpful tips and tricks from myself and another affiliate marketer as well. You'll have help from both of us to be able to do it. So it's not like after this course, I'm going to let you loose and say, good luck, I hope it works for you. I am here to make sure that you can make passive income. I am here to make sure that you can do that. Keeping in mind that although this is scary for the first 3 videos, it's not going to continue like this. So it's not going to continue to be as scary. There is an approval process that you do have to go through with each video to make sure that it doesn't have personal information. It doesn't show things that violate their standards in that case. However, they are going to be a lot more lenient if, let's say, you wanted a vertical video because you had a really good one of your kid using a certain product and you wanted to use that. They might still accept it in that case. So it's not necessarily that they aren't going to accept it. It's just when it comes to those 3 videos for on-site commission and unlocking that blue lock, you want to be making sure that since you only have 3 shots, you want to make sure that you're doing it right and you're doing it right the first time. So again, keep in mind you are not in this alone. I know this is a lot to take in, and overall, it's definitely something that's doable. But I want to make sure that you know that I am behind you 100% to be able to make sure that your videos get approved. I cannot guarantee it, but I can work with you to make sure that you have every chance possible to be able to get in. Once you post those videos, if let's say you post a video to me and you say, how does this look if I were to submit one of these for, my Amazon Blue Lock, getting that off. And if I see on there that there is a lot of clutter in the background, if I see that it's a vertical video, if I hear your kids screaming in the background, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that you need to redo it and that I would not submit that in that case. So that's something that's really important. I hope in this case, having this course to be able to guide you makes you comfortable enough to complete those on your own. But do not forget that what you bought with the course is this course and the mentorship, Facebook mentorship group as well. So just keep that in mind, utilize that to the best of your ability as well, and keep on trucking.